All right, let's get into it. I want to talk about flat rate and how corrupt the system is, because it is corrupt. Now, not every mechanic is corrupt like this. There are still a lot of good guys that are in the system, okay? But this field has a lot of corrupt guys, let me tell you. The system is comprised of two methods of pay. You have hourly, which everybody knows. You get paid by the hour, make $20 an hour. You work 8 hour day, you're going to make $160. Then you get deducted taxes and all that fun stuff. But there's another option for guys to make money, and it's pretty popular. It actually is more popular than hourly. I would say 80% of shops do flat rate, which is the second option of pay, over hourly. Now, flat rate is a different animal. You get paid by the job. Each job has a specific time, and it doesn't matter whether you take, let's say the job pays 30 minutes. Doesn't matter if you take 15 minutes or you take 45 minutes, you get paid 30 minutes. So, the name of the game is speed, my friends. How fast can you go? How many shortcuts can you take? It's all up to you. The smarter you get, the faster you go, the more corners you cut, the more money you're going to make. That's what it boils down to. The faster you are, the more money you're going to make. So, what happens is you get guys that go to school, they get out of school, they're fresh, they want to do a good job, right? They're trained to do a good job, do good work, diagnose everything, be correct on everything. So they do their due diligence, and they make sure that the customer gets taken care of, and they do a good job. Guess what? The guy that's being all corrupt at the other end of the shop, he's making twice as much. And you're thinking, well, how can that be? Why does he make more money? Well, that's because he's cutting corners, and he's not doing the job right. Now, I'm not saying that you can't make a lot of money without doing the job right. You can make good money doing everything properly. There's nothing wrong with that. You can get good at flat rate and be a good person. But it is much easier to make a ton of money by being corrupt. That's the problem with flat rate and why it is so corrupt. You can, as a mechanic, you can do shady stuff, get away with it, and make a pile of money. And it's super easy, okay? So let me just dive in a little bit and give you some examples. Okay, I've seen a bunch of shady stuff. I'm talking alignment. You got to do an alignment. Seeing guys that just push on the target until the numbers go green and they hit print, send that thing out the door. Boom, get paid an hour. Took you like 10 minutes. Guys aren't even making adjustments. It's that corrupt. No guys that take brake caliper slider pins that are supposed to slide freely to allow the brakes to work properly. They slap that silver anti-seize on there. Guess what happens in 6 months? That stuff gets all hard and gross and it seizes the slider pin, or better yet, it's petroleum based, so it causes the rubber to swell up 4 times the size that it's normally supposed to be. Now you get moisture intrusion, you get dirt and crap in there, rust builds up, seizes the pins. And you know what happens? The customer comes back a year later for another brake service, their annual brake service. They are good customers coming back for their service. And guess what happens? Sorry, Mr. Smith, it looks like you've got some seized slider pins. Now that technician has set himself up for additional seized time that he can bill out, and he is just rolling in the money. He is setting himself up for work, and that's in a good case. I mean, worst case, the pin seize and it chews off the inside brake pad because now you only have one brake pad working, and he gets a whole brake job out of the deal. Okay? So there are unlimited ways that guys can be corrupt, and it is such a taboo subject that nobody talks about because it's dark. It's dark. I mean, people are ripping people off left, right, center. It's a dog-eat-dog world, and it shouldn't be. But that's just the way it is. And it, like I say, it is so easy to be corrupt and get away with it that it is scary. I feel bad for people that go to flat rate shops. I used to work in one, and it's not very nice. There is some greasy stuff that goes on. Stuff like bolts that never really broke. Stuff like parts that don't really need changed. You see, when I first started working at the dealership, I did my first diagnose and report job, and they have this rule. It doesn't apply to every dealer or every shop, but I'm sure there's enough of them where you do a diagnosis, figure out what's wrong with the car, and then the customer approves a repair. Now, the rule is if the customer approves the repair and does it that day, right then and there, they waive the diagnostic fee. And guess where that money comes out of? You guessed it, the technician's pocket. Gotta love it. So, now, that really upset me when I realized that, because I had spent an hour figuring out what was wrong with the vehicle, and I don't even get paid for that. So you know what happens? Guys get upset and they don't do the diag. They just guess. Because why would they work for free to diag something when they could just guess at the customer's expense? Right? Makes sense. So now you got guys that are just guessing at things. Car comes in for a brake shake. Think I'm pulling a dial indicator out, measuring those rotor runouts? Nope. It's getting rotors and pads all the way around. So there is a lot of stuff that is broken in the system. Flat rate, in my opinion, should be illegal, or some sort of structure around it that can't allow technicians to rake customers over the coals. But that's just the way it is, and it's going to stay that way because it makes a lot of money, and businesses like money. So of course nobody's going to complain about it. You got mechanics making double the wage that the hourly guy's making. They're going to complain about it? No. Businesses making more money, they gonna complain about it? No. But it's a terrible, corrupt system. It's broken. I'm telling you, it's broken. People that watch this might get upset that I'm talking about this, but it is the cold hard truth. Okay? That's about all I can really get into right now. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you got any comments or crazy stories, throw them down in the comments below. And as always, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.